happen is you'll walk out in the barn, truck will be just like this. First thing you do is you're gonna point up there and say, I got my top lights. I've got a left turn signal and I've got a right turn signal. I've got four-way flashes. I've got headlights, high and low beams. They're all working, they're all proper color, none of them are damaged, and they're all properly secured. I have no leaking fluids on the ground. Now you and the tester from this point will open the hood. Somebody want to grab that ladder over there? Like the sheet and be fun. This is how I do it. I like to put things in perspective because I have a hard time if I don't. I see squirrels. Does that make sense to you? I got to keep myself from seeing them squirrels. So what I'll do is once the hood's open, I'll point at my engine and I'll say exhaust system from engine, and I'll point stack. It is not cracked, bent, or broken. It is not damaged. It is not leaking. And it is properly secured. Then from there, I'll go to my water pump. It's right here. If you don't know where that water pump is, it's that rusty thing right back here. Okay? Then I'll tell him my water pump is not cracked, bent, or broken, or damaged. It is not leaking. It is gear driven, and it is properly secured. Then I'll go to my alternator. My alternator is not cracked, bent, or broken, or damaged, and it is properly secured. My wires leading to my alternator are not cut or frayed or damaged, and they are properly secured. My alternator itself is belt driven. My belts are not cut, torn, or frayed. They are not damaged. They are properly secured. And there should be no more than 3/4 inch free play. Now I'm done with this side. Now I'll start on the other side. Okay, on this side I like to start with my fluids to begin with. I've got my engine coolant, I've got my engine oil, and I got my power steering fluid. They're all at the full mark. Then I have my coolant hoses. They're not cut, not gouged, not bulged, not leaking, not damaged, and they are properly secured. Then I go to my air compressor right here. My air compressor is not cracked, bent, or broken, or damaged. It is not leaking. It is gear driven, and it is properly secured. Then I have my hoses coming off my air compressor. They are not cut, not gouged, not bulged, not damaged, not leaking, and they are properly secured. Then I'll go to my power steering pump. See it right there? My power steering pump is not cracked, bent, or broken. It is not damaged. It is not leaking. It is gear driven, and it is properly secured. Then I have my hoses coming off my power steering pump. They are not cut, not gouged, not bulged, not leaking, not damaged, and they are properly secured. Then from there, I like to do my frame and my cross member. My frame and cross member are not damaged. They are properly secured. I would check to make sure there's no illegal or unauthorized welds. Then from there, I like to go to my my shock absorber. My shock absorber is not cracked, bent, or broken, or damaged. It is not leaking, and it is properly secured. Now from there, I like to do my suspension, which I have a front spring mount, a rear spring mount, and I have center U-bolts. None of them are cracked, bent, or broken, or damaged, and they are all properly secured. I have my springs. My springs themselves are not cracked, bent, or broken, or damaged. They are properly secured, and there is none missing or misaligned. Now from there, I like to do my steering system. My steering gearbox is not cracked, bent, or broken, or damaged. It is properly secured. It is not leaking. Then I go to my pitman arm, my drag link, my upper and lower steering knuckles, my castle nuts and cotter pins. None of them are cracked, bent, or broken, or damaged. They are all properly secured, and I would check to make sure my castle nuts are tight and my cotter pins are present. Now, I'll do my braking system. I'll start with my brake hoses. My brake hoses are not cut, not gouged, not bulged, not leaking, not damaged, and they are properly secured. Then I have my brake chamber itself. It is not cracked, bent, or broken, or damaged. It is not leaking, and it is properly secured. Then right here is a slack adjuster and a push rod. Slack adjuster and push rod. Slack adjuster and push rod. They are not cracked, bent, or broken, or damaged. There is no missing parts. They are properly secured. And I would make sure there's no more than a 1-inch free play. Then from there, I've got my drums and my linings. First of all, my drums themselves are not cracked, bent, or broken, or damaged, and they are properly secured. My linings themselves are not worn dangerously thin. They are not damaged, and they are properly secured. Then from there, I have an inner, I missed something, guys. I would check to make sure I have no leaking fluid from my inner hub seal. Then I have an inner and an outer hub seal. They are not leaking, they are not damaged, they are properly secured. Then I have add to full right here. Now from there, I'll go to my tires, my rims, and my lug nuts. First of all, my tires are not cut, not gouged, not bulged, not leaking. They're not damaged, they are properly secured. I would check to make sure they are filled up to manufacturer's specification, and there should be no less than 4/32 seconds wear. Then I have my rim itself. It is not cracked, bent, or broken, or damaged. It is properly secured. I would check to make sure there's no illegal or unauthorized welds. Then I have my lug nuts. There's none missing, none loose, none damaged, and they are all properly secured. Now at this point here, you and the tester will close the hood of the truck. If you had forgot something, make sure you tell him now before you close that hood. And the best way to tell him is say, "Sir, I forgot to tell you something, let me show you." Because then what are you telling him? Yeah, I know it, I just skipped it, I got nervous, I missed it. Okay, but don't stop in the middle of something, because what might you do? Yeah.